What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Reacts and I watched Lake Placid Legacy with the tagline, "This trip may tear them apart." Ooh. Um, let's just start. We're in Seattle and it's dark outside. Now we're in some parking garage and we see a black van. And we hear two girls or young women talk. Inside the van, we see the women, the young ladies, and we see a guy and another guy sitting behind the wheel. The girls are apparently sisters, and they're discussing something, and then Billy, the one on the laptop, he is chiming in. Then we see Spencer behind the wheel, and a guy knocks on the window. He gets startled, and they both start to laugh. And then he rolled down his window, and the guy left again. Okay. But we're also gonna leave it at that, because if you don't know what that was all about, you have to watch the movie yourself. Okay, I have written down some points. When they came at the reservoir, at Lake Placid, well, we didn't have it specifically that they were at Lake Placid. I don't think they really said that they were at Lake Placid. They only said a bit later in the movie that a dog took a croc to main Lake Placid. That's it. They didn't say that they were currently in Lake Placid. So, maybe they're there, maybe they don't. I don't know. Anyway, so Spencer, you're the one that was behind the wheel. He was about to cut some lock off the gates, and as a joke, he did the fake electrocution, shaking, and 3 of them were dead. Well, not literally, but not legit, but 2 of them started to grab him. Well, the guy, not Billy, but another guy, started to grab him, I'm blanking on his name. He started to grab him. And then Jade, his girlfriend, she started to grab him. Well, if that was, if he was legit electrocuted, they were both dead, because obviously he's a conductor. It goes through him, and you touch him, you get electrocuted too. You touch him, you get electrocuted. Then you're all 3 dead. And why did I say 3 of them? Because there was a third, another guy, also blanking on his name, he died a bit early. He was also about to grab him. But then he said, well, it's a joke, Spencer did that. But if he was, legit being electrocuted, if they would have touched him, they would be dead. So that was a fucking stupid move from them. You know, it should have been kind of common knowledge. You got science, in school or whatever you get to learn about that, right? That if something gets electrocuted and you touch that, that you also get electrocuted. It goes through you, just like water, if you're standing in a pool of water, and a dangling thingy touches the water, it goes through the water and then hits you. It's the same thing. You touch that thing, you touch the other guy, you could also be dead. And if I'm incorrect, please correct me in the comment section. Apparently, this croc wasn't really a croc. It was a hybrid. It was partially croc, partially something from the Mesozoic 80 million years, I think, something that he said, years ago, mix. Right. And it was all just to get some DNA for better medicine. And I kind of get it. It's medicine. It's really necessary. What do you want to do? Not test for animals. Even though animals can have some certain thingy, a certain reaction that's very fun. That's what we need. That's exactly what we need to get rid of all the cancers. Or get rid of AIDS. Or get rid of Ebola. Whatever. Of get rid of all disease. Of most diseases. That specific thing that we need is, and I get it, I fucking love animals, but on the one hand, it's legit for human survival. Because it's diseases, On the other hand, it's fucking animal cruelty, so, a bit on the fence, a bit 50-50. Obviously don't do makeup, but, medicine is a whole different story. And if you need human test subjects, why don't you use people on death row? They're gonna die anyway. They're gonna die anyway. So why not use them for medicine experiments? I know. It's probably something with the Geneva law code, whatever. But they're on death row. They're gonna be electrocuted or whatever. I don't know. But just saying. On death row, they're gonna die anyway. So why not learn from something to maybe go further with medicine? And if they die from it, hey, they're on death row, so they're gonna die anyway, like I said. But back to the movie. The guy that taught everybody about the crocs was Henderson. And Dane said, Dane was not the main guy from that with the Jade, his girlfriend. That's the other guy, but Dane dared that guy to come there. And Dane was still alive. And he said, don't trust Henderson. Which, Henderson worked for the pharmaceutical company that was running that thing. But he said, don't trust Henderson. Dude got Henderson loose. And then Henderson told the story from, okay, what happened, about the crocodile and shit. And then Billy got to the radio something, because they split up in two. 3 of them and then 3 of them. And then they found Dane with Henderson. But Billy was through the radio thingy, and he found the intercom, and he made the intercom work so he could speak to Dane and Jade and Alice, and the other guy and Henderson, because he didn't know that Dane was there and Henderson, but to the other 3. Anyway, and then because all 4 of them were focused on the intercom. Therefore, it's Billy, Henderson escaped. And then Dane was like, I told you not to trust Henderson! Yeah, but dude, if you said that, but why didn't you keep an eye on him then? Why didn't you do it? You said don't trust him. Okay. But why didn't you keep an eye on him then the whole time? While he was, cut loose. Then you could inform the others, guys, Henderson. But now you're blaming them, who cut him loose, but you were the first one for don't trust him. Then you should have been the most suspicious of him. So you should be the most alert on him, I would think. But yeah, Henderson kind of escaped. But then, first thing. I think that there are maybe two crocodiles, actually. Because, they were first in the facility, escaping, and then they went down somewhere and went through a door, and Dane was eaten, in that room above, just right above them, all staring while they could have run further. But now they're watching Dane die, and then they run after he's dead. So, burn it in your mind. Anyway, so they run to somewhere, and there was a kind of a gate, so they're stuck. But the gator was just inside, inside in that room. Now suddenly it's outside in the water. How? It was just inside a moment ago. Now it's outside further there in the water. How? So I think there are maybe two crocs, two hybrid crocs. There has to be. And then Henderson was in a nest and he was eaten. So I think there's 2 crocs. But apparently they run away, and then the croc could have come inside because it was really hunting them. But I still think there may be 2 crocs. The disappointing thing about this movie is that they barely showed the croc. It was there, and there were deaths, but the croc itself wasn't that visible. You know, yes, you saw maybe a silhouette of it, or you saw it, but there was steam in front of it, or it was red glowing light, so and flashing or something like that, so it was barely visible, which really, really was disappointing. Um, the whole time the croc was just CGI. They didn't use animatronics or practical croc effects as far as I could see or notice. Um, Overall, I did kind of enjoy the movie. Um, was it better than the Lake Placid franchise that we just watched the last 4 days? No, I definitely like that franchise way more. But this movie on its own, I would say it was a good movie, but I don't think I can give the 4 out of 5. Because with the shit that I just got, for with the dumb shit that they did, the barely visible croc. There maybe are two of them, but I still don't know. We didn't know. Well, I didn't know where we were. Maybe they said it, but I just didn't notice it. I'd probably give this also 3.75. Yes. No. Yeah. That's it. I can leave it at that. Go watch the original franchise because that one is way better. We also still have to finish that original franchise because we still have to watch Lake Placid versus Anaconda, but we're gonna watch that one in 2 weeks because we're done gonna do the whole Anaconda franchise first. Tomorrow you're gonna get Transcendence and the movie Karen. And now, for the movie Karen, I have something also to talk about. So definitely subscribe to watch that video because it's just subscribe, yeah. Because I have another movie idea involving a Karen. So, first we're gonna watch a movie, and if my movie is not too similar, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's something fun, maybe it's something funny, and definitely I want to work with the Karen expert that I know. Well, I don't know him personally, but I listen to his podcast every day. So I would kind of think that, or he's the butthole expert, which sounds weird. But if I can work with him on a movie, it would be fucking nice. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Leave a like, recommend a good crocodile movie down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, come join Discord, and see you guys later for, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Transcendence and Karen, and episode 3 of the Twilight Zone. Yes, I'm not gonna do it today because I still have also to film another video for the Underdog Reacts. So subscribe to that channel. Link in the description.